course, and it culminates in a one-woman show where they're going to do everything from sing with their own voices, lip sync, dance, do stand-up comedy, interact with the audience, and tell their own stories. Hello. Hi. The shyest queens in the world.
You can introduce yourself as your boy, girl self, or you can introduce yourself as your drag character. Or if you have both, say both.
My drag name is Beardance. Beardance. Yeah.
I've always been very curious, very intrigued by it. Like, how can you put some X amount of makeup or a wig and suddenly you become someone else?
Ambrosia.
Mint rose.
Mint rose. Oh, this sounds delicious.
I've struggled with obesity. I'm not fat first when I'm in drag. I feel as a boy like no matter who I meet, I'm fat first in their mind. But when I'm in drag, I'm remarkable and different and unique first. So it gives me a superpower that I don't have as a boy.
I'm here because I want to explore my performance.
I really want to focus on putting Champagne in front of the camera.
I'm Lucy Flawless. My theater dragness doesn't really fit in the drag scene, and I've been having trouble finding this crossroads and where I fit.
I identify as bigender, and so Erin Brockovich is a way for me to explore and navigate femininity for me.
What an extraordinary group we have. I thought I was excited before. Now I'm like,
I honestly, I got chills listening to each of you.
so good. Drag is the mask that we put on to unmask, to unleash a truth that we might not let out on a daily basis.
Drag is it's about freedom. It's about letting loose. It's about letting the shackles go.
You can take your life experience as raw material and use what I call theatrical alchemy or drag alchemy and transform that into something that's spectacular and that transforms you into a teacher in a very entertaining sort of Trojan horse kind of way. But that's what I feel that this process is about. And you will go on the hero's journey to create this piece. Trust me, it's a real process and a real journey, and you're going to get to know yourself even better. Work that body, yeah! Think about a story that you can share of a moment of transformation from your own lives.
I was outside in drag at a club, and I was punched in the back of the head repeatedly until I was bleeding, and I literally moved home, gave up drag, gave up performing, gave up music. I went to trucking school. I worked as a trucker for 2 years, and then I went to work for the railroad. I really felt transformed, and not in a way that made me feel like I had moved forward in life, but like I had moved backward. Being authentic despite negative outcomes is always a better choice, in my opinion.
I was in a relationship for 3.5 years. Moved across, well, I dragged him across the country. He dragged me back here. He was my world, everything that I thought was right. He actually attacked me. It was a long court battle, and my whole world just kind of shattered. And
Just over a year ago, my brother actually came out to me and told me that he's bisexual, which was like, what? It's very, very difficult for me to unwrap everything that I have built myself upon in my relationship to him and let him in.
I'm not pretty enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not, nowhere. I decided to do a naked photo shoot. The moment I took my first piece of clothing, I felt so empowered, so in control.
There's these injustices that happen to women so often that have kind of become just part of the package. There's so much power to give back as men, as allies to women, which is what I really want my point of view to be, is to lift the female experience up.
it was this amazing moment where I was able to just sit with my mom and teach her how to contour and highlight. It's good to know that the person who kind of instigated the dragness inside of me really appreciates what I do and we can now share that bond.
My dad gave me his card and it just said, "I love you. I'm sorry. I support you." And that was like this huge moment for me to realize that like love is always the way to go, no matter which situation. I think that was like this really special moment between the two of us because it was like the biggest gift he probably ever gave me.
My mom, when I was 8 or 9, she's like, "You've been here for a while now, like I consider you one of my kids. You're one of my own. And even though I look different than the rest of the little blonde hair, blue-eyed, white brothers and sisters," she's like, "You are my kid. We can make this a permanent thing and I'm gonna adopt you." And so she's like, "I'm gonna give you some time to think about it." I was like, I don't need time to think about this. Like, yes, I wanna be adopted. I wanna be here. And even though I'm not her biological child, I feel something so special between her. I'm so thankful that she wanted me.
I could have died during that surgery. I could have died before that surgery in just a couple months having a heart attack. And I realized that there's so much in this world that we can all kind of take by the balls. I want to look out for other people. I want to help support people. I want to bring people up to become everything they can be and more.
It's Dad. And I said, "What happened?" And she said, "He drove his car into a river." And I said, "Well, is he okay?" And she said, "No, he died." I don't just teach this work, I live it. I think it has helped to save my own life in terms of getting through the worst experience of my life. And I believe that working with your own stories and sharing them is one of the best medicine around. So thank you for listening and thank you for sharing your stories. I'm very fascinated by that question of what have you survived and how did you survive? There's an exercise that I start every course with, and it's called Gossip and Lies. So you get to listen to these strangers gossip in a very positive way about the other person, and that person writes it down. Something kind of magical happens, and they feel very seen in a positive light. Can you grab that first idea that came into your head? Who you are, what you do, why you love it, use some energy, and go.
And I love it because I get to do as much cocaine as I can.
I am a country legend. There you go.
Okay, so first thing I noticed, she just has this like incredibly open energy.
Like getting it out of your head right off the bat is so refreshing.
It really is.
Yeah.
Did you find that?
You guys made me feel so comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something in the zeitgeist right now where people are just realizing gender is much more fluid and that there are real benefits for men playing with their female essence and for females playing with their male essence.
It was an interesting exercise to think like, oh, these are people you've never met, like these are the things that they pick up on.
And sometimes we're always expecting people just to say the worst about us. So even when you're hearing the best, it's like you're still expecting it to be the worst.
Right.
You can't just take it at face value.
Searching for motives.
Yeah.
What you're getting is a reflection of yourself without your doubts. Does that all make sense?
Yeah.
It's all very Freudian.
Right? At the beginning of the creative process, it's all about quantity. It's all about just how many ideas can you come up with. We're only limited by our imagination. If you want to cook on stage, we plug in a hot plate and you friggin' make something. Here is your assignment should you choose to accept it, and you are all accepting it. Have the students, that's you, pick one of the edited down tunes. Hit Me Baby, Believe by Cher, and Not Right But Okay, Whitney. In life, you can do almost anything for 60 seconds. So there's no costume needed. Bring heels if you want. Learn the lyrics. You've got a week. And you're done for tonight. Thank you and welcome aboard.
I work at Porter. I'm a flight dispatcher. It's a very black and white world at work. You have two options, so you pick one or the other. There's no in between. Drag has always been a passion of mine, whether it was watching it and then kind of developing that thought of, oh, maybe I could do this. Even when I was a kid, I used to love putting on women's clothes and running around. I used to steal my mom's clothes all the time. So now it's just being able to take that and fully run with it and see where I end up. Typically when you're watching shows about drag, it's very much that snarky attitude. I think from years of being harassed and like oppressed, it just kind of brought out that side of us to kind of protect ourselves. But with this course, you're finding out that there's more to it. Not everybody is there to read you or throw shade. It's a community and we're open to anybody and everybody.
When Mitchell told me about this 10-week course in drag, I thought it was amazing.
This one that always turns out well.
We'll use that as a darker color.
Okay. Work your magic. Okay. It's hard for me sometimes to put myself out there, so this course will kind of help force me to not hide in the shadows. Being able to develop a character and to be a performer, I've always wanted to do that. I would love to see this develop into a career and be able to make it my life, but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
What?
It tickles.
Have you practiced with the eyeliner?
Yes, that one I have practiced with.
And?
Still not very good at it.
Close your eyes.
I am horrible at doing makeup. That's my biggest fear right there, is being able to sit down and do it myself, or being asked to sit down and do it myself. My drag persona is Ambrosia Mint Rose. I want to be the over-the-top, just let my true inner self out and be who I am and not be judged for it.
Because he's doing the drag, I think that's allowing him to be a lot more open, and for him to be able to channel, you know, other energies into his personality.
There was an incident that ended up involving police and many court dates. I realized that the person I trusted the most, I didn't know at that point. It was hard to lose everything that I had. It was a challenge to kind of recover from that.
I haven't seen Mitchell walk in heels yet, and that's something I'm very curious to see.
I don't know if I'm quite ready to be prancing around in heels, and even though it's only for a minute. My stability, I'm 6'3". My center of gravity is a lot higher. Putting me in heels is dangerous. It has been in the past.
I'm not exactly the best Cher impersonator, but I could possibly give him some good tips. So when you go into that room tomorrow, just remember you're not Mitchell. You gotta like embrace the Cher. Like you gotta like take it in.
That's my goal. Gotta channel her, feel her. Bring her to life. I have like ideas for like the middle portion, like little pieces here and there. But
we'll just have to keep playing it and like just see how it comes out.
Okay, let's go. I don't know.
Keep going.
Yeah, I don't flow naturally. I really don't.
Just let it out. We'll try a little something different. Let's put something around your head.
You really tie it good.
You're good. You're in a good
See
space.
what comes out of this.
Ready?
That was any good. I'm half stumbling.
That was a little better. What you have going right now is pretty good. You just need to make your moves bigger.
It's only a minute. Like, it's really not that hard. If I'm trying to take this and go to class tomorrow without making it big to begin with, probably not going to work out. So I need to make it big.
What is it about the song that resonates with you?
This one spoke to me more, especially because of my whole, like, with the ex.
You can channel your energy into saying, yeah, there is life after love, and you can live again. Picture singing this to your ex.
I want to be ready to open my heart again, but it is, it's a little fragile right now, so it's, I think it's going to be a little while before I fully let somebody back in.
My hope for Mitchell in this 10-week course is for him to go out there and be confident and to be a go-getter and to get what he wants.
So you're all safe this week.
Thankfully, there are no eliminations, only celebrations here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present the B-Girls. Welcome, B-Girls. How did you three fabulous guys find each other? How was it born? Because you really were pioneers in terms of combining drag with comedy.
Started to do
write
mini
shows.
musicals,
Yeah.
all the way to
and
like
we would
40
just
minutes.
bang them out. Like we were doing
Oh my God, we did 3 in 1 year.
3 in 1 year.
So we really lucked out as far as having a presence that way.
When we would perform at Woody's, which was always a nightmare, but it was such great training because here you are in a room with people and they're drinking. They're not paying attention, and you have got to like basically stand there, deliver, get people to watch you, don't cry in the process of people not paying attention to you, but you know, have a good time in the end.
When you said Miss Kitty taught you how to do drag, what were the top 3 things that you learned from her?
You need big hair in order to balance out your proportions as a man. More is more. Foundation and cover up those eyebrows, you know, with the glue. That's really key, because you're not going to be plucking. And the other thing is you don't look complete, and you really get the quickest bang for your buck by putting on the eyelashes. That's when you really look amazing. And everything else is kind of negotiable. Of course, draw your lips bigger than your lip line, because no, you've got beautiful lips. So, but everyone else is not as gifted. So those are little things you learn when you just try to throw stuff together.
What do you think kept people coming back and enjoying your shows the most? Because everyone here is creating their own mini show right now.
To have some element of truth in the story, because it seems whenever we try to be too outside the box or too far removed from our actual lives, it kind of veers in a kind of a weird way.
Was any of your own personality, life experience coming through, and if so, how?
My character is based on my mother's social persona. My mother was very like, like that kind of person, and very like, she'd always pretend she was dumb.
Conchita is my mom, and she's a behind-the-scenes manipulator.
And I think I'm my aunt. She was manic depressive. So Cora's like very high, low, high, angry, no, insecure.
Michael's entire life is a drag show.
With bad costumes.
And we try not to be bitchy, is the other thing. I grew up being picked on and bullied. I don't want that for anyone.
What is the gift that these characters gave you?
Doing drag can give you the confidence to be yourself and to invent this persona.
I found, putting on that wig, putting on that entire costume, that it gave me the strength to do it.
I don't worry if I get the words wrong. Sometimes I'll do it on purpose. Conchita's human, and it's not me failing. It's Conchita showing her humanness, and I embrace it.
You're acting, you're writing it, and you're singing live. What do you think are the challenges of doing something like that versus lip syncing the way most of the community does?
The culture is that most are lip syncing, that if you do sing live, they're a lot more forgiving.
Our characters are very flawed as well. You know, the B-girls, they're not going to be the best dancers. They're not going to be the best, vague harmonies off key, maybe.
And if you're there, the audience will be with you. Yeah. And that's what I've learned. I mean, like,
and you're a drag queen. When you finish singing, wasn't that amazing?
You can always ask for applause.
We are going to now go into our first assignment. Today is all about having fun and really going for it in your 1 minute.
You controlled the space that you were actually in. Where did you learn that?
This is theater school, standing in front of a room of your peers, kind of in bright lights with a piano player, and then people analyzing what you do.
There's the commitment to the character, which is the fierceness that we saw. Can you walk us through actually what you did? Line by line.
They stayed out, but you came home around 3. Yes, you did. Pack your bags up and leave. I'd rather be alone than unhappy. Oh!
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to make it really specific now. The first trick when you're doing this stuff is you want to make your audience feel like they're part of the act, right? So this is a small audience. So pretty much I can deliver one line to every single person in this room, and then they will feel part of the act.
Next up, we have Mitchell.
I've never performed in drag, actually.
Okay.
So this is all very new for me.
Excellent.
I'm not going to be that fierce.
What made you decide that you wanted to do it in drag?
Even just getting the confidence to interact with people and talk to a group and perform in front of a group. See how it goes.
Can we have a standing ovation for a first time? Yay! Wow.
Amazing. How did it feel?
I'm shaking. I was kind of singing that song to my ex, So it kind of helped to channel that.
You have a really interesting quality. And I think that you can really exploit that as a performer. Let's do it again, okay? And this time, you can't move your feet.
It'll be a little freeze game where you have to strike an interesting pose and we go freeze and you keep...
Understand what he's saying? It's so powerful. Play to your strengths.
It's not like they ever forget that I have a beard or that I'm hairy, but they also can buy into this female energy and this female power, and it becomes less about being a bearded queen and more just about being a performer and an entertainer.
I love how pushed this group makes me feel, and I love how inspiring it is because I am prone to running back into my cave. I love you all.
Hey, baby, you're irresistible. Hey, baby, you're so powerful. Hey, baby, you're invincible. Hey, baby.